old man, he says, "Ya bye 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 bye, yai die cheedle diddle die die die, ya bye 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 bye, ya bye bye, yai die ya bye 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 bum." Well, as joyful as that tune was, the bus driver was not impressed with the ditty, and as they pulled out of Port Authority, the man starts singing again, and the bus driver gets on. He says, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to Miami, and there's no eating on the bus, and there's no smoking on the bus." Okay, back in the day. Okay, there's smoking. Okay, there's smoking in the back of the bus. But there's no singing. There'll be no singing on the bus. Well, they get to Virginia. The guy can't help himself. He's so excited. Ya boy boy boy, ya boy boy boy, yai yai die die, yai die cheedle diddle die die die, ya boy boy boy, ya boy boy boy, yai die die die, and the melody has grown. Okay, so the bus driver says, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is unacceptable. There's no singing on the bus. If there's any more singing, I'm going to do something drastic." Man sits there, sits all the way to South Carolina, and he can't take it anymore. He's going to Miami. Bye. Everybody's Jewish, and he'll see his friends. Well, the bus driver gets so upset, he pulls the bus over to the side of the road, and he stands up, and he goes above the man's head, and he takes the suitcase, and he opens the door of the bus, and he throws the suitcase out of the bus, and he closes the door. And he gets back on the road, and the man is very quiet, very, very quiet, nothing, garnished. And all the way to Miami, nothing. He sits there. And he's the last one to get off the bus. And as he gets off the bus, he gets down the first step, and he gets down the second step, and he turns and he says to the driver, "Hey, bye, 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 it wasn't my suitcase."
Very good.
That's all I got.
Very good. Anybody got one? No? All right, it's Purim. So we are going to be doing the whole Megillah.
Woohoo!
So thank you to the cantor for putting together this wonderful, wonderful Megillah that we're going to be using. Everyone's going to be taking turns reading. I'm going to invite you to read. Maybe we'll go around, but maybe we'll make it fun. Maybe we'll think, like, what's your best accent? You know, that's not offensive. Non-offensive. What's maybe your best non-offensive accent that we could do together? Oh, I like the sound effects. That's excellent. But let's begin, as we always do, with the bracha. We've only had one drink. We could have more. Yeah, exactly. All right. Are you ready? Let's begin with page four. Page 4.
And if you think these blessings sound a little bit like the shofar blessings, you are correct. That's right. Jewish musical trivia. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikra Megillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim la'avotenu v'imotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh.
Amen.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה, לזמן הזה. ויהי בימי אחשוורוש, הוא אחשוורוש, המולך מהודו ועד כוש 7 ועשרים ומאה מדינה, בימים ההם כשבט המלך אחשוורוש, על כיסא מלכותו, אשר בשושן הבירה. בשנת 3 למלכו, עשה משתה לכל שריו ועבדיו, חיל פרס ומדי, הפרטמים ושרי המדינות לפניו, בהרותו את אושר כבוד מלכותו, ואת יקר תפארת גדולתו. ימים רבים 80 יום, ובמלאת הימים האלה עשה למלך לכל העם ונמצאים בשושן הבירה, למגילות ועד קטן, משתה 7 ימים בחצר. ניגע ביתן המלך, חור כרפס ותכלת, אחוז בחבלי בוץ וארגמן, וגלילי כסף ועמודי שש, מיטות זהב וכסף על רצפת בהמת ושש, ודר וסוחרת, והשקות בכלי זהב, וכלים במכלה שנים, ויין מלכות רב כיד המלך, והשתיח הדת אין אונם, כי כן יסד המלך עד כל רב ביתו, לעשות כרצון איש ואיש.
All right, for our first reading challenge.
Page 6.
Page 5? Are we doing page? Okay, hopefully you read the English on page 5. Then we're going to turn to page 6. Page 6, here is your reading challenge. Who would like to read page 6 as though you are my junior high school homeroom teacher, reading the names, each one, and butchering them like you've never heard them before? Like, make it as terrible reading of each of these names as incorrect as possible. Who would like to volunteer? Like you're my 7th grade homeroom teacher. Anyone? All right, Linda. All right, here, I'll bring you the microphone. Hold on. Thank you, Rabbi. And don't forget to call out yay for all of the characters that you love, and boo for all the characters you despise.
Queen Vashti made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded his 7 chamberlains to bring Queen Vashti before the king with her royal crown, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was easy on the eyes. But Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's command. Therefore, the king's anger burned in him. Then the king said to the wise men, "What shall we do to Queen Vashti according to law, because she had not performed the commandment of King Ahasuerus?" And Memukani answered before the king and the princes, "Vashti the queen has not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king. For this deed of the queen shall come upon all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes when it shall be reported." King Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she didn't show up. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day to all the king's princes which have heard of the deed of the queen, "If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Perusians and the Medians, that it be not altered, that Queen Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better. And when the king's decree shall be published throughout all his empire, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both great and small, and the saying pleased the king and the princes, for he sent letters into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Bravo! Beautiful! You should do announcements, Mark.
Seventh grade homeroom teachers got nothing on you again. All right, so for number 7, any volunteers to read it in your best heavy Wisconsin accent? Heavy Wisconsin accent. Okay.
Sally.
Sally.
Yes.
Very good.
Here comes the microphone.
Okay. Chapter 2. After the fiasco with Queen Vashti, King Ahasuerus appointed attendants to seek out the most beautiful young ladies in all of his 127 provinces of the Persian Empire and bring them to the city of Shushan. Thereafter, there were to be prepared with beauty treatments so that they could be presented before the king. Of the many beautiful young ladies selected was Esther, a Jewish orphan who was beautiful of form and face. When her father and her mother died, her uncle Mordecai took her as his own daughter. Esther was her Persian name, meaning myrtle. Esther received special treatment from Hegai, also the guardian of the women, because he was pleased with Esther. Mordecai had warned Esther to not make it known that she was a Jew. It was kept a secret. In time, the young ladies were brought before. Let me see. My glasses are dirty. Excuse me. In time, the so where am I? Okay, so Esther was while her Jewish name was Hadassah. Esther was. Oh, okay. I skipped a sentence, I think. King Ahasuerus then gave a great banquet, Esther's banquet, for all his princes and his servants to celebrate her coronation. And a plot became known to Mordecai, and he told Queen Esther, and Esther informed the king in Mordecai's name. The plot was exposed, the conspirators were hanged, and an official record was made in the royal annals in the presence of the king.
Yes.
Ready for chapter 3? Chapter 3. Okay, here we go. Do I need this?
Yeah.
Is it on? Okay. Achar hadvarim ha'ele gidal. You better get ready, you guys. Hamelech Achashverosh et Haman. Ben Hamedata Hagagi Vayinasehu Vayasem et Kiso Me'al Kol Hasarim Asherito V'chol Avdei HaMelech Asher B'shar HaMelech Koreim Umishtachavim Lehaman Ki chein siva lo hamelech uMordechai lo yichra v'lo yishtachaveh vayomeru Avdei HaMelech asher b'shar HaMelech leMordechai madua ata over et mitzvat HaMelech vayihi ke'omram elav yom yom velo shama alehem vayagidu lehaman Lir'ot haya amidu divrei Mordechai ki higid lahem asher hu Yehudi vayar Haman ki ein Mordechai korea umishachavelo vayimale Haman Chema, Vayives beinav lishloach yad b'Mordechai levado, ki higidu lo et am Mordechai, vayivakesh Haman leashmid et kol haYehudim asher b'chol malchut Achashverosh am Mordechai b'chodesh harishon hu chodesh Nisan bishnat shetei mesrei lamelech Achashverosh hipil pur hu hagoral lifnei Haman miyom liyom umechodesh lechodesh shnei masar hu chodesh adar.
Ooh, nicely done.
Rabbi, could you please tell me what the words mean on your stop and go? I was trying to make out what the letters are. I know that first one's a mouth. I couldn't get the word.
So, this one, number 9, how about we do it as if you are deeply fearful of loud, brighter noises. Okay? Loud, grogger noises. Excuse me, I've got to get the accent right. The grogger noises. If you are afraid, as though you are like profoundly fearful of grogger noises. Who's going to go? Any volunteers? Someone specific. Oh, be brave. All right, go.
All right. Where's the microphone?
Oh, yeah.
Pass it down. Not everybody might know Laura's silly side. Here it comes, everybody.
Really? Is it on?
Yes, yes, yes.
In the mean King Ahasuerus appoints. I did The Agagite was a Hamalekite as prime minister appoints and issues a decree that all should bow to him. Phew. Mordecai refuses to bow down. I can't. Before. Mordecai refusal no, he doesn't. Mordecai refuses and infuriates Sarah. Yeah, Sarah. He refuses. Harry.
Amen.
Already driven by his family's historic hatred of the Jewish people, that man goes to King Ahasuerus with 10,000 silver pieces and asks for permission to destroy the Jews. He presents the issue to the king as a matter of loyalty, saying there is a certain people scattered and spread out among the peoples in all the states of your kingdom. Their laws are different from our other people's laws, and they do not deserve the king's laws. So it is not worth it for the king to leave them alive. The king agrees and issues an edict to all 127 provinces, saying that on the 13th of Adar, the Jews in all the provinces are to be exterminated and their property kept as plunder.
Wow! Wow! Page 10. Ani Purim, Sameach Umbodeach, Halo rak pa'am bashana avo lehitareach. La 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 la. My name is Purim and I come great fun and frolic bringing. Just once a year I visit you to cheer you with my singing. La 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 la. Hurrah Purim, we love your merry drum. And if we had our way, Purim, each month would be coming. La 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 la. Oh, Mr. Purim, tell us why we see you only yearly. Please make it once or twice a week, because we love you dearly. La 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 la.
Very nice. Okay, number 11. Let's do this one. Who here has got a good New York accent? Brooklyn accent?
I just read, so what was going on?
Great job. All right, so if that one doesn't work, who wants to chant it like they're pretending that they know what their trope?
Oh, here, sure. I'll
Okay, very good.
I'll try.
Don't do your bar mitzvah now.
Like I can remember.
When Mordecai preserved all that was done, he rent his clothes and put on a sackcloth and ashes and went into the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry, sitting at the gate to the king's palace. And in every one of the king's provinces, wherever the decree was heard, there was a great mourning among the Jews, and fasting and weeping and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. So Esther's maid and her chamberlains came and told her, and the queen was exceedingly grieved. Then Esther called for one of the king's chamberlains, Hatesh, whom he had appointed to attend to her. Mordecai told him of all that had happened, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised. I almost forgot that. To pay to the king's treasuries for the Jews to destroy them. He also gave them the copy of the writings of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it to Esther, and to declare it to her, and to charge her to go to the king, to make supplication to him, and to make requests before him on behalf of her people. Hatash then came and told her the words of Mordecai. Again, Esther spoke to Hatash and gave him a message for Mordecai and all the king's servants and the people of the province. Know that if a man or woman were to come to the king's inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put that person to death, except those to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that they may live. But I have not been called to come unto the king these 30 days.
Believe me. Believe me.
Or number 12. Who wants to read it like you really don't want to read this at all? It's just like you just want to get this done. Get it done. You don't want to be the center of attention. You just want to read fast. Anyone?
Rick.
I thought all of you would have chosen that.
Up, Jackie. Jackie. L'chaim. Bar mitzvah
Way to
number
go.
2.5.
And they told Mordecai what Esther had said. And Mordecai had sent his response to Esther. Don't think that you shall escape from the king's house more than all the Jews. If you hold your peace at this time, deliverance will come to the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house shall be destroyed. Who knows whether you are to come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Then Esther had them return Mordecai this answer. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in the Shushan and have them fast for 3 days. I also, and my maidens will fast as well. And so go to the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
Yes.
This might be a stretch. Who wants to read? Very good. That was awesome. Who wants to read number 13 like you're Khrushchev in the United Nations? You're what? You're Khrushchev.
Where does he get this stuff?
No? 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 Do you have any? You don't get the shoe reference? We need a shoe. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. By the way, what was fascinating is that he had both the shoes on. So whose shoe was it? That joke came about. Sure. Yeah. This reference is about 70 years too old. All right. So, well, let's try and do something else. Let's think. Who's got a good accent?
Rick could read it in Chinese.
Do you want to
could
try
translate.
translating it into Chinese? No, okay, all right.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Then again,
No pressure,
this is
no
on
pressure,
video, so,
no pressure.
You know, we don't want to get
Don't worry.
be culturally insensitive. So,
So did any of your ancestors born in Russia here?
No, yes, but who wants to read this like you can't control the volume of your voice?
Oh, I'll do that.
Okay.
I don't even need the microphone. On the third day, Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, while the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house. When the king saw Esther standing in the court, she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter, and Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. The king then said to her, Queen Esther, what is your request? Esther invited the king and Haman, to come to a banquet that she will prepare for them. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. The king said to Esther at the banquet of wine, what is your petition? It shall be granted, even to the half of the kingdom. It shall be performed. Haman went forth that day joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate and not standing before Haman, Haman was full of indignation against Mordecai. Nevertheless, Haman restrained himself, and when he came home, he sent for his friends and Zeresh, his wife. Haman told them of the glory of his riches and his promotion above the princes and servants of the king. Haman continued saying that Esther the queen didn't invite anyone else except him and the king to the banquet that she had prepared. All this is nothing to me, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. Then Haman's wife Zeresh said, tomorrow tell the king to dig a gallows 50 cubits high in order to hang Mordecai. Then go with the king to the banquet. This pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made.
Utsu etza ve'etufar, dabru bevar ve'lo yakum. Utsu etza ve'etufar, dabru davar ve'lo yakum. Emmanuel. Utsu etza ve'etufar, dabru davar ve'lo yakum. Emmanuel. Utsu etza ve'etufar, dabru davar ve'lo yakum. Utsu etza ve'etufar, dabru davar ve'lo yakum. Ki Emmanuel. Ho, ho, ho. Utsu etza ve'etufar, dabru davar ve'lo Ki Emmanuel.
Very nice. All right, very nice. Who wants to read the next section as though it is your bar or bat mitzvah speech? Anybody want to read it as though it's their bar or bat mitzvah speech?
I'll try.
All right, thank you, Cantor.
I got one. I got one.
There we go.
I'm trying to think of that Saturday Night Live skit where he gets up there. That night, King Ahasuerus was unable to sleep. After tossing and turning, he called for his ministers to bring him the book of Chronicles for some bedtime reading. The section recalled the great service rendered to him by Mordechai. Thank you for the reminder, Cantor, for uncovering the plot on the king's life. And Ahasuerus realized that he had never rewarded Mordecai. Just as the king had decided how to best reward a man who has saved his life, Haman entered. He came after building the gallows to ask the king for permission to hang Mordecai. But before he could speak, the king asked Haman his opinion on how the king could best honor a most loyal subject. Thinking that the king was referring to him, Haman suggested that the king dress the subject in the king's finest robes and have him led around town on the king's horse. Pleased with the suggestion, the king ordered Haman to dress Mordecai in the finest royal robes and to lead him around Shushan on his horse? Oh. Verse 7. Oh.
Okay.
Prepare thyselves.
Vayomer.
Yeah.
Vayomer. Hamelech leEster. Gam bayom hasheni b'mishtei hayayin. Ma she'elate Esther Hamalka v'tinaten lach uma bakashate ad chatzi hamalchut v'te'as vatan Esther Hamalka vatomar imatzati chen be'einecha hamelech ve'im al hamelech tov tinaten li nafshi bishe'elati ve'ami bevakashati ki nimkarnu ani ve'ami lehashmid laharog ule'abed ve'ilu la'avadim v'lishafachot nimkarnu hecherashti ki ein hatzar shoveh b'nezek hamelech vayomer hamelech achashverosh vayomer leEster Hamalka mi hozeh v'ezeh hu asher mila'oli bo la'asod kain.
What was the name of that drunk comedian, Foster Brooks? It was very good. It was very Purim Foster Brooks.
Very nice. All right, number 17. Who wants to do their best Canadian accent? All right, so Esther, that beauty, said the adversary, that hoser, is wicked. Haman. And Gretzky arose from the banquet with a six-pack of Labatt's, and in his wrath went into the palace garden. That hoser Haman stood up to make requests for his life to Esther the queen. You should really listen to the queen, yo. For he saw that there was evil determined against him by the Gretzky. Then the Gretzky returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of Labatt's. And the hoser, Haman, was fallen upon the bed. Whereupon Esther was. That's a little blue, eh? Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house? The house. As the word went out of the Gretzky's mouth, they covered the hoser's face, eh? Harbona, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, that is real high, eh? Which Haman had made for Mordecai. The Gretzky said, hang him. And the hoser thereon said they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. The king's wrath was then pacified. All right. All right.
Vayomahu Natan Hamelech Achashverosh leEster Hamalka et Beit Haman Zorer HaYehudim uMordechai Ba Lifnei Hamelech Ki higida Esther Mahula Vayasar Hamelech et Tabato Asher Hevir Mei Haman Vayitena leMordechai, Vatasem Esther, et Mordechai al Beit Haman. Vatosef Esther, Vatidaber lifnei Hamelech, Vatipol lifnei Raglav, Vatevk, Vatit chanen lo, Lehaavir et Ra'at Haman, Hagagi, Ve'et ma chashavto asher chashav al haYehudim, Vayoshet hamelech leHester, et sharvit hazahav, Vatakom Esther, Vatamod livnei hamelech, Vatomer im al hamelech tov, ve'im matzati chen lefanav. וכאשר הדבר לפני המלך וטובה אני בעיניו ייכתב להשיב את הספרים מחשבת המן בין המדת ההגגי אשר כתב לאבד את היהודים אשר בכל מדינות המלך.
All right, so 19. How about we do this one like you're the anchor of a news story? Let's say a Fox News anchor. Deeply skeptical of what you're seeing in front of you. Anyone? All right.
Wait for the mic.
Wait for the mic. Thank you. Okay, chapter 8 continued. Esther continued saying, How can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? How can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred? King Ahasuerus said to Esther and to Mordecai, Behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman because he laid his hand upon the Jews. It shall be written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring that no man may reverse. The king's scribes were called at that time in the 3rd month, that in the month of Sivan on the 23rd day, and it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews and to the lieutenants and the deputies and rulers of his provinces, which are from India to Ethiopia, 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing and according to their language. He wrote in the king's name and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by posts on horseback and riders on mules, camels, and young camels. The king granted the Jews in every city to gather themselves together, to stand up for their lives, to destroy all those that would assault them. On one day, in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, the new proclamation was given to every province and was published unto all people, that the Jews should be ready to avenge themselves against all their enemies.
Ooh. All right, so number 20 is a wild card. Whoever wants to read and do whatever funny thing. Ooh.
Who volunteered, Rabbi?
Sorry?
Who volunteered?
No one volunteered.
Oh, come on, people.
You want to try reading it backwards?
Can we do that? It starts with them.
All right, Laura. All right.
Laura.
There you go. Okay. Wow.
Sweet.
I'm from Alabama. So the posts that rode upon mules and those camels, they went out being hastened, and they pressed on by the king's commandment. And And the decree was given at Shushan, the palace. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in a royal dress, down to his knees, in blue and white, no less. Do you think the blue and white was because he thought of Israel? I don't know, maybe. And with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city, how the purple got it, I don't know. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad. The Jews, the Yiddish had light and gladness and joy and honor. And in every province, in every city to which the king's commandments and his decree came, the Yiddish had joy and gladness and a feast. I love feasts. There's so many good things to eat and a good day. And many of the people of the land they converted and became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Microphone. ומרדכי יצא מלפני המלך בלבוש מלכות ועטרת זהב. ומרדכי יצא מלפני המלך והעיר שושן צהלה ושמחה. ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה, אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר. ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה, אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר. ומרדכי יצא מלפני המלך בלבוש מלכות ועטרת זהב. ומרדכי יצא מלפני המלך והעיר שושן צהלה ושמחה. ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה, אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר. ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה, אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר.
3 weeks of rehearsal.
Wow, Yesher Koach. All right, so we've got a long period here. Let's see how fast we can read. Who wants to read as fast as they can? Who's a fast reader? All right, Sarah.
We've got somebody who studied with Evelyn Wood. If this is any more than 3.4 seconds, Sarah. Now on your mark. Get set. And go.
Backwards too?
Whatever you want.
Now in the 12th month, that is the month of Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of King Ahasuerus to deal with those who sought to hurt them, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people. My time's up. And all the rulers of the provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies and the officers of the king helped the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces, for this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies, and with the stroke of the sword and slaughter and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them. And in Shushan the palace the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men, and a lot of people whose names I cannot pronounce. But the 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the enemy of the Jews. On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan the palace was brought before the king. And the king said to Esther, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What have they done in the rest of the king's provinces. And who knows 13?
Very good. All right, next one. Who wants to read this page as though you are absolutely horrified?
Just completely horrified by what you're reading. Like it's the most horrifying thing in the entire world. All right.
I think you were voluntold.
Yeah, you pretty much. The king continued, saying to Esther, "Now what is your petition? It shall be granted." Esther said, "If it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also, where are we? According to the decree, and let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows." The king commanded it to be done, and the decree was given at Shushan, and they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
His children.
Yes.
His children, Corey.
Yeah, this is
appalling.
so this is the part where my kids always point out how wonderful this story really is. Yes. Yes. The Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day of the month of Adar and slew 300 men at Shushan. 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey they laid not their hand. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives and had rest from their enemies and slew of their foes 70 and 5,000. 70 and 5,000. But they laid not their hands on the prey. On the 13th day of the month of Adar, and on the 14th day, they rested and made it a day of feasting and gladness, because there's nothing happier than killing 5,000 people. Yes. But the Jews that were in Shushan assembled together on the 13th and 14th of Adar, and on the 15th day, they rested and made it, because killing people is a lot of work, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. Therefore, the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and a day of setting portions to one to another. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters to all the Jews that were in all the provinces, both near and far, that they should keep the 14th and 15th of Adar the same yearly, as the days in which the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, because nothing's more joyful than killing lots of people. And from mourning into a good day, they should make days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor.
Thank you, Corey. That was excellent. Okay, 24. All right, who's got an idea for 24? Anyone? Anyone?
Someone from the UK, perhaps.
Nope. We're just going to read the nouns. Jews, Mordecai, written. I'm just skipping the infinitives. We're all good. Because Haman, Hammedatha, Agagite, enemy, Jews, plotted, destroy.
Plotted.
We're just going for the main words. I'm just skipping the short ones. Cast pour, that is, the lot. Oh, sorry. Lot, consume, them, destroy. Esther, king, commanded, letters. Haman's wicked device should return, head. Sons, hanged, gallows. Called days Purim, name Pur. And days remembered, kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, every city. Esther, Mordecai, authority, confirm. Second letter, Purim. Letters, Jews, 127 provinces, kingdom, Ahashverosh. Words, peace, truth, confirm, days, Purim. Decree, Esther, confirm, matters, Purim, written book.
I want to play Mad Libs with you. Okay, chapter 10. Who wants to read this like they are so relieved? They're so relieved that they've come to the end. Or, oh no, how about this? Even better. Who's really sad they've come to the end of this story? You got voluntold. Are you ready? Joan, you want to do it? Just like you're very sad that we're at the end. I am too.
To be celebrating. King Ahasuerus laid a tribute upon the land.
and upon the isles of the sea, and all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai, whereunto the king advanced him, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia? For Mordecai the Jew was next unto King Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews, and accepted of the multitude of his brethren, seeking the wealth of his people, and speaking peace to all his seed.
Thank you very much.
The whole Megillah.
We sing.
And once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. Destroys the Jews, that was, and though they were not to blame, sir. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And not some Hamantash. Now Esther was the lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. Men Haman said he'd kill us all. Oh my, how did it scare us? Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And not some Hamantash. But Mordecai, her cousin, both said, Esther, I must fetch her. To save us all, she must be both to a loyal royal fetcher. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And not some Hamantash. So Esther her report did bring of Haman's unpaid mention. Ha ha, he said, no, I'm the king. I'll spoil his bad intention. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And not some Hamantash. Of all his cruel and unkind ways, this little joke did cure. And don't forget, we owe him thanks for this jolly feast of Purim. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And not some Hamantash.
Thank you, everyone. That was a great Megillah reading. All of our brave readers. Thank you. And if anybody has any jokes that they want to tell, you've been holding on to it all this time. Use this time now to give us a good joke. Okay, go ahead. Well, you know, the old man goes to the deli, the same deli that he's gone in for years,
And he asks for a bowl of barley soup, and the waiter brings it, and the old man says, what does he say again? Oh, I lost it. You got to take, he says to the waiter, you got to taste this soup, and the waiter says, oh, I ruined it. I totally ruined it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I know this soup. What is this soup? It's the soup we have every single day. No, you got to taste it. You got to taste. I insist you taste it. Okay, well, where's your spoon?
Sorry.
There was no spoon.
There's no spoon.
I need a spoon, but he said the waiter can't taste it because he didn't bring the guy a spoon, and that's how he was telling the waiter that he didn't have a spoon.
Everybody's playing a joke.
They just don't behave that way here. That's all.
You don't have to re-roll your scrolls. I'm re-rolling.
Mine's already done.
That's nice.
Mine's already done.
Thank you, everybody, for your energy. That was
Thank
awesome.
you for all your work to do this. Thank you, this is lovely.
It was Rabbi Noah's idea.
Great idea. Very good.
Lots of fun.
there are hamantashen and there's some nash. Go nashen and enjoy. There's more schnapps.
Yeah, everybody who was watching online, Chag Sameach, Happy Purim from everybody here. And go get them.